welcome back to Camaro Rescue. You may have been following our series on the 1969 Camaro convertible Hugger Orange. We're going to hit pause on the restoration of this while we focus on our other project, our second generation 1971 Camaro. This one we have done a little bit of work on so far. One of the most exciting elements is the LS engine. This is a Corvette engine. It's a 2004 Corvette engine that we have recently put in, and it sounds amazing. We're going to crank it up in just a minute. Right now we're about to crank it so you can hear it.
Oh, I don't have the battery hooked up.
We're not quite finished. We do have to replace this bracket right over here. It's not the right fit, and it keeps hitting this area. Is this an inner wheel well?
Fender, yeah.
Oh, this is the inner fender. This front left fender is barely in place. You can see the gap right here. That's going to be fixed once we have the appropriate bracket and we can fit it into place. Moving on to the rear of the vehicle. This is one of our action items. We've completed it on the other side, so you're going to get a look at what it looks like there. Right rear quarter panel. And you can see we've done some rust repair. This we have outlined as a reminder because we have some dents that we need to get the dent puller out and take care of those. We've also done some rust repair right up here. And if you want to get a shot of that, on the opposite side, we've got some rust repair that needs to be done too. So we'll do some videos on that. Moving on to the trunk, we have a nice, beautiful trunk with no rust holes. This was a very labor-intensive, frustrating project. Glad we have checked it off the list. And on display right over here, these are our beautiful new gauges that are going to be installed. Moving on up front, right here we had to do this is some repair that was done on the rocker that was a result of a wasp nest. And what we think happened is the car was parked, a wasp nest, the previous owner had the car parked, wasp nest got in there, and kids maybe were getting stung, who knows. So somebody took an air chisel to the thing, jacked up the rocker panel, and so that was one of our things that we had to repair. Did some rust repair over in this area. Really kind of anywhere you see the clean metal, that's where we've had to do some rust repair. We have, as you can see, we've got that black primer. We did some rust repair in here inside the floor pan. So this is the computer for the car. Oh, this controls the engine, the 2004 Corvette engine. Okay, so this is a drive-by-wire pedal, and this is the accelerator that's going to be mounted right over there on the driver's side. And the reason it's laying here is because we're waiting on a bracket, a conversion bracket, which enables this Corvette pedal to be mounted in a 1971 Camaro. And the reason that it's laying here is because we have to install the vintage air first before we can install the computer for the car. So the reason we have everything laying out right here, and the reason the fender is off right here is because we're going to install the Vintage Air AC system, and the wires have to run through this hole, through the front firewall, and all the way around. So right now we're going to unbox the Vintage Air system that we have. Okay, so this is the compressor for an LS engine, and this has a serpentine pulley on it. So I don't know if you can get a shot of that. So this is going to mount right here using this ICT billet bracket. So this bracket is what allows us to take that AC system and install it into a 2004 Corvette engine. Now, typically this type of bracket would cost around $300, but we actually visited ICT Billet and got this set for about $100. So, good stuff. All right, next. This is the evaporator box. It's not terribly heavy, it's just kind of cumbersome. This is what we're going to mount underneath on the firewall. Like I said, it's basically the heart of the system, and so it, and then that rectangular unit right there is the control module that controls the entire system. Where do you want me to set this? Just back in? This is the AC control kit. So this is what's going to be installed in the dash, and this is going to control all of your heating and cooling. Okay. In this bag, we have an assortment of items, wires and relays. Assorted pieces. All right, we have some hose, but one of the really cool things are firewall caps. Now these, I like to call them little organizers, because this is what enables us to have a nice clean path for our hoses to travel. That way you don't have this really messy look with hoses everywhere. And so you take this and it just goes right here against the firewall, and your hoses go through those holes and they travel all the way around to your AC system, hidden inside the fender. The larger one is going to go inside the right fender, right over here in the kick panel. So it keeps everything nice and tidy. Okay. Now, is this the defroster?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the defroster. Defrost your windows and your windshield. These are going to be mounting brackets for the main box. So all of these things are going to come together and make for a really comfortable ride in the car. It's going to basically take a 1971 Camaro and have it feel like the comforts of a 2004. Because if you've ever ridden around an all original classic car, you know, it leaves a little bit to be desired in terms of comfort. What else? So this is the brand new glove compartment, which I think is pretty cool. It's a little bit more shallow than your standard glove compartment that comes standard, but the reason for that is because this unit is much larger. It does so much and it's totally worth it. But they provide for you a glove compartment so that everything fits. Otherwise there wouldn't be enough room for everything. Okay. This last box from Vintage Air is going to be, let's see what we have in here. We have our hard lines that connect to the condenser. We have the hard lines that connect to the condenser. We're not going to open the condenser because it's very fragile. Over here we have the dryer.
What's the dryer do?
The dryer dries things. The dryer dries the air. Now I'm not going to open up any of the seals. You don't want to open those up until the second you're ready to install it. So we're just going to box that right back up. And then just below these hard lines, we have the hose, and I'm sure y'all are familiar with that. You can measure it once you get everything installed, and then you place your markings and you take it to a place to have it professionally crimped. Okay, and then this last box over here, now these are the brackets. These would be the brackets that you would use if you had a standard, thank you, that's right. These would be the brackets that you would use if you had a standard original engine for 1971. We do not, so that is why we purchased the ICT billet brackets. That's what's going to make everything mount smoothly. So we will not be, so if you need them, give us a holler and we'll ship them to you. So as far as the body work is concerned, we have the roof, which is a bit daunting. We've got a few holes up here that we need to tackle right here. So you can kind of see where that path is. We're just going to replace that. We're going to work on this area here as we touched on earlier. We've got some rust spots there. I'm going to deal with the rust spots. Oh, actually, that's actually the spoiler holes, right?
Right.
So this rust here, we're going to address. Let's see, this rear quarter panel here, we've got some rust issues. God, pretty deep. We're gonna just patch that right on up. These wheels, the tires are real?
Wheels. Okay. Brand new tires. So those are the original tires. We had to throw them in the trash can.
Okay, these are brand new tires. Wheels, original. All right, taking our way up to the front.
What do they have to look forward to, Stephanie?
Well, you have many more videos to look forward to because we are going to get this thing up and running on the road within 6 months. So it's January 29, and by end of July, we're going to have this on the road. Okay, we're going to completely assemble the front end, including a Rally Sport split bumper. And then on the back, we're going to use the original spoiler. The exhaust system, that is brand new. It's just kind of floating right there now, so we have to install that. Oh yeah, and then after all of that is complete, then we're going to tackle the interior. So we're going to be replacing everything with a black interior. So for the paint, we're thinking a black and a silver, or black or silver. We haven't completely decided yet, so. So stay tuned because we have a number of projects ahead of us and pretty ambitious goals getting this thing on the road in 6 months. So stay tuned. Okay.